should have had this stuff on the porch this summer.
Say what?
We should have had this stuff on the porch this summer.
What do you mean?
When you and I were on the porch.
Oh, I know. Well, that would have been great. I would have loved to listen back to that.
Me
Okay.
too.
All right. Welcome to the Matt Ellis podcast. Today I got a very special guest. I say that about all my guests, but I especially mean it today. I have my very own flesh and blood father, Matt Ellis Sr. How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Hey, I'm living, doing great. I guess you could call this like the Matt Ellis Squared podcast.
Yeah.
The Matt Ellis podcast. Yeah, so I have nothing prepared today. No notes, no questions. We're just going to go off the rip, and we're going to see how bad it turns out. So it's been pretty fun. Yeah, you don't really got to worry about anything. You could cuss. You could tell your dirty little secrets. We can edit all that out and do whatever we need to do. We're just simply having a conversation.
What makes you think I have dirty secrets?
Certainly. Not you. Golden boy, golden child.
I don't know about that.
Oh, Mr. Senior. Where do we begin?
That's what the guy at work calls me.
Mr. Senior?
No.
Oh.
Golden child.
Golden child?
Asshole.
Does he say it like condescendingly or?
He's ripping on me,
Yeah.
of course.
Because you're so much better than him?
It's because I tell the bosses what to do.
Yeah. And he doesn't have the balls to do that.
He does, but they don't listen.
I wonder why they don't value his opinion the same as yours.
Because he gives in too much.
He's a pushover.
If you hold them to a standard, then they have to follow.
Yes. Yes, baby. All done? All done? You want some more?
Yeah.
Okay, ask mommy. Go take it to mommy. Thank you.
Yes. Love that.
Yes. All right, so just started this podcast. This is, I think this is episode number 5, or it will be, or something like that. I know you've kind of been interested in doing your own kind of videos and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what kind of videos exactly? I know you're trying to do like some motorcycle kind of riding videos, or either just like exploring and doing trails, or like maintenance videos type stuff like that.
I haven't added into maintenance or tips, or I've talked about it with my buddy Jim, like starting our own YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Actually, he has one. And yeah, I do, adventure trips, trials, competitions, hair scrambles. I bought a GoPro this year.
All that fun stuff.
I had to get pretty techie this summer.
Yeah, it's you're really jumping out of your element, and that's awesome, because there's a lot of what was I thinking about earlier? There's a lot of room to grow in this room alone, because I mean, I want to expand the things that I'm not good at. Like, all I do is drive truck. All I know how to do is drive truck and raise kids. So I really want to jump out of my element and kind of do something different. I love podcasts so much, and I listen to them every day. And I just love interacting with people and picking people's brain and stuff like that. And then I would just want to learn about how to edit it and how to, all that fancy shit. But
luckily for me, GoPro has an app that you can edit and add music and all kinds of stuff. I
need to get me a GoPro. How much does that set you back?
You don't need the best of the best.
Yeah.
I got a Hero 8 Black, and that's plenty for what I do. It takes good pictures. It's got good battery life.
Yeah.
Small, waterproof.
Yeah, it's just like a little square, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got mounts on my helmets, mounts on my bikes, mounts that I wear on my body.
Hell yeah.
Just depends on what I'm doing, where I'm going, what's happening.
Yeah. So, yeah, I want a GoPro because I want to strap it to my chest, and then
I got a mount for that.
Yeah.
Actually, I brought it.
Did you?
Yeah. We got selfie sticks.
Start doing
float if you're doing water shots.
Yeah, start doing a little vlog or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my next investment, is a camera, because trying to do everything on the phone is so difficult. I mean, the phone takes pretty good video, but getting it from the phone to the laptop into the editing software is like a pain in the ass. But yep, so that'll be my next investment. Probably a vlog camera, not quite a GoPro or anything like that. But
yeah, the GoPro, the 8 that I got, it was 300-ish.
That's not bad.
No.
Yeah, the nice vlog cameras I'm looking at are 900,000 at least.
Yeah.
But they're pretty nice. They come with a microphone and whatnot and everything kind of built-in setup for it.
I might update to that eventually.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind having my office be behind my handlebars.
Yes, I know.
Do what I want. I don't know. Of course, that's a lot of pressure too to keep producing content.
Yes, that's the thing too. I think so. This is the predicament I feel like I'm in right now, because I have so many passions and things that I really enjoy doing, but right now I have to be a father and I have to be a provider and I have to work. What's up, baby? No. I'm sorry, baby. Go ask mommy. Thank you. He listens well. When I tell him to go ask mommy, he's okay. I'm like, thank God. But yeah, like I have so many passions and so many things that I want to kind of dive into and explore and get better at. But I've just come to the realization and I've accepted that I just got to wait my turn. You know, right now I just don't have the time or the energy to really dive into making content or comedy, because I love comedy so much. I really want to start going out to comedy clubs and like doing, you know, guest spots or little 5-minute, you know, here and there, just to get my foot in the door and
amateur nights.
Yeah, stuff like that, because I just love comedy so much. It's like I love making people laugh. I love listening to other people and how witty they can be, and it's a great community. And I actually me and Brittany just got tickets to go see my favorite comedian. He's coming to Charlotte in April. His name is Andrew Schultz, and he's fucking hilarious.
Can't say I've heard of him.
Yeah, he's blown up in the past few years, but I think he just hit 40. He's from New York originally.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
But yeah, he's hysterical. He's got a couple podcasts and stuff that he does too that I listen to religiously. But so April we're going to see Andrew Schultz, the GOAT, the God. No. And then yeah, and other than that, I mean, when it comes to podcasting, it's so time consuming. But I'm like, I have to think about what I want out of it and what I want to achieve, besides just like, oh, I want to do this. Because with like anything that I want to do, I want to be really good at it. I don't want to just half-ass mediocre go in and tell a shitty joke or do a crappy podcast, you know, so.
Because anyone can do that.
Anybody can do that. And nowadays there's 1,000,001 podcasts out there. Everybody's got one. It's all. And that was one thing that kind of discouraged me from doing podcasts, was it's like, I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, everything's already been said. Everything has been said before. Like, yes, I might have a couple stories that are specific to me, or, you know, situations that no one else has kind of been through. But where was I going with that? Yeah, I've just kind of come to the realization that I'm glad I got the kids early. I'm glad I had kids young, because I'll still be young when they're old enough to kind of take after themselves, and you know, they won't be such a demand on the day-to-day. So I figure once Xander gets, you know, 10, 11, something like that, then I can actually start going out to the comedy clubs on the weekends. I can really start diving into doing podcasts and you know, focus my time and energy on putting out quality stuff. Because, yeah, like I said, everything's been said before, but people are still making podcasts. Podcasts are still really popular, and that's just what it is. I mean, ideally, I would like for my podcast to be a place where people can come and feel comfortable enough to open up and share their feelings and their life experiences and crazy things that they've been through, mainly for the reason to help other people, because I love helping people. I love making people laugh. I just want to share experiences and things like that. And there's nothing better than interacting with strangers or people you know and sharing your stories and getting them out there, because it helps people. I know I've listened to plenty of podcasts that have helped me so much. And I listen to a podcast every night at work. It gets me through the night. So I would love to be that kind of person for other people too. Even if I'm saying the same shit somebody else has said before, it's a little different. It is a little different, because if that was the philosophy to everything, you would never do anything. You can't be like, oh, someone's already done it before, and you do it. So
the idea is to say it a different way.
Yeah,
Make
exactly.
It new, make it fresh.
Make it fresh and make it contemporary.
Yeah, and meaningful to whoever hears it.
Exactly, because I want my messages to be meaningful, and I want when people hear the conversations that I want to have, I want them to either laugh or I want them to really feel something. Really feel some kind of real emotions. Because for me, when I listen to music, when I listen to stories, or anything like that, my favorite experiences when I do those things is feeling those strong emotions. Like whatever that evokes out of me, it just it does something to me, getting those emotions out. Because once you have that strong emotion connected to a song or a story or something, I don't know where I'm going with that, but
I know what you mean now.
Yeah,
there's a time and place for everything.
That's right.
Like I've always told you.
Mm-hmm.
Podcasts, well, dabble now,
Mm-hmm.
more later when you can put the time in.
And that was the thing too. I was like, I have to do this now. I have to at least get my foot in the door. I have to at least be practicing, because if I don't, I'm going to be years behind when I do have the time to actually commit myself to it.
Well, you got to try it.
Exactly.
Because if you don't practice it enough and realize, like, this is what I want to do,
mm-hmm.
then you're way down the road before that materializes.
Exactly. And I've always been really bad about procrastinating and things like that.
No way.
So to try to avoid being such a procrastinator, it's like I will put myself into a corner, or I will put pressure on myself to try to, push myself to do the things I know I want to do. Like, I knew I wanted to do podcasting, so I, researched it a little bit besides just being a casual fan. And then it's like, okay, I'm going to go out and buy all the equipment. And then once I put a few $100s into this, I'm going to feel some kind of pressure to do something with it.
Now you're invested.
Yeah, I'm invested. I don't want to just let my microphone sit around and gather dust, because then I'm, it breaks you down. It makes you feel like, wow, I'm not committed, or I'm not taking this serious, or whatever the case may be. And what I had to do, I think, was kind of step back and know what place I'm at and what time I'm at in my life. Because as much as I want to just dive in and do everything and, commit to it like a 9 to 5, there's no way I can do that.
Only so many hours in the day.
Exactly. And if I dive into it like I would like to, I'm going to be taking time away from my family. I'm going to be avoiding the things that are more important at the moment, and it's going to cause crazy stress in my life, because Brittany's going to be mad at me for not damn helping with the kids and always being tired and not showing her any attention and this and that. So I just realized I have to play my role until it's my time. And when it's my time, I will capitalize.
Tough balancing act at your age.
It is.
A lot going on.
Oh, my gosh. 4 or 5 hours of free time during the week each day when I'm working. And then on the weekends, it's, birthday parties, family trips, it's grocery shopping, it's all that stuff. It's all that good stuff. It's parent-teacher conferences. It's man, everything.
Oh, yeah.
So it's tough. So I try not to beat myself up too much because I know my time will come. And when my time does come, I will capitalize. But I enjoy practicing too. I need to practice. It's hard to talk to a camera, especially when you're by yourself. Oh my God.
I can see where that'd be hard.
It's difficult. I've got 2 or 3 solo episodes, and they are just hack jobs.
Yeah. I watch YouTube a lot.
Yeah.
And watch these guys make their videos, and they're talking to the camera. It's like, gee, they look pretty good. They're talking fluently.
Confident,
Yeah.
not missing a beat.
We didn't see where they started from, though.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Like anything, a little practice goes a long way.
Goes a very long way. That's why I'm not scared to put myself out there, because I know everybody starts somewhere, and I know certain people will appreciate the realness and the honesty and the genuine side that comes out. So I kind of look forward to that, because I want to show people like, hey, I'm not good at this, but I'm still trying it. It's something I'm passionate about, something I really love doing. So I'm still going to go and try and do it and practice and get better. So I can't wait till one day when I am leagues ahead of where I am now, and I can just look back and be proud that I took the step and kind of put myself out there. Because nowadays, I mean, social media and everything like that, it's people are exposed to so many things. It's
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
it's tough, man. So, I mean, I think I'll still be, as much as the internet could say about a person, and as much as the internet can judge a person, that part of it doesn't discourage me, because I feel like in my heart I'm a good, genuine man who takes care of his family and puts my responsibilities first. And maybe if I have a bad opinion about something, whatever. Like, they can criticize me all they want, because at the end of the day, I know in my heart that I'm still a good person. I might have a hot take on something that people don't like, but that's the world we live in. Everybody has opinions. Some people just think their opinion is the only opinion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's the shit that's the bad side of social media. It's that everybody has an opinion, but nobody knows how to keep that shit to themselves sometimes.
There's no modesty
No.
anymore.
Yeah. I heard somebody the other day say something about how the world's coming to a point where the things on social media are almost more important than what's going on in real life. Or at least that's the way people are trying to portray it, or that's the direction we're headed, is that people take online things and they make them seem more real than what is really going on in real life, offline.
Media does that every day.
Yeah, the media's fucked.
Lie right to our faces.
Yeah, the media's...
Everything's fine. Don't jump out a window.
The media, Big Pharma, all those people, it's all a business. America is just a big business. We don't really have... I mean, it's a great place to live. Super fortunate. Richest country in the world, or so they say. But
Or used to be.
there used to be, yeah. I hear Poland is where it's at. Poland is the place to be. Super low crime, super good government. But yeah, anyways, we're not in Poland. But but yeah, it's fucked, because it feels like the American people, the normal, casual American people, are getting exploited ridiculously bad by its own government.
They are.
We're all just getting...
Especially the working class.
Yeah, the middle class is getting it the worst.
Absolutely.
The lower class gets all the amenities and all the extra little...
All the handouts.
The government, yeah.
The food cards and everything else.
Yep, government assistance and everything like that.
And the rich people don't give a shit about any of it, because they don't need it.
Yeah.
They're already rich.
Yeah, and...
But they want us to pay their taxes.
Yeah, they're still catching more tax breaks than anyone else, and they're making the most money. But I don't know nothing. I'm just a dumb truck driver. But I'm trying to think of some topics to talk about. You Yeah, man, you got to take that RC out for a ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to the other day, but it was Christmas.
Well,
I shouldn't have. Christmas Eve.
Yeah, when we were at Lita's, I was about to be like, jump on it right now. I'm going to take it for a ride right now.
I thought about it.
Yeah, you should have. But my helmet is a small, and I honestly don't think that would fit your head.
No.
You wear a large?
No, medium.
Oh, okay. Brittany's
Well,
got a medium.
Depends on what manufacturer I buy.
Yeah. Brittany's got a medium, and I try to steal it sometimes, but I got a small noggin. I think the small fits me good. But yeah, you should have took it for a rip while we was over there. It's okay.
I'm just interested to see how it handles and what kind of a power 390 has, because I haven't ridden a 390.
It's fun, man. It's so fun, and it's
I'm
just
sure it's super nimble.
super nimble. Like just point and go. Like now that I'm getting really comfortable on it, like I've got like 2,500 miles on it myself, and now that I'm getting really comfortable on it, I'm like maneuvering parking lots and like tight traffic or like stop and go situations and stuff like that. It's like I feel so much comfortable, like taking tight turns and you know.
You wouldn't have felt that on that 650 or
No,
750.
No, yeah, because I was looking at that Gixxer
Heavy.
750 or something.
Sure, they're fast.
Sure, they're fun, but I feel like I would have laid it down already if I would have got it. Because
He would just have the kickstand dig into the ground and fall over.
yeah, that happened to the 390.
Yeah.
I fucking brought it up to the front yard, put it in the grass, put the kickstand down, walked away for like 5 minutes, came back, it's on the ground. I'm like, oh, fuck. Mud all over the damn kickstand. I'm like, why did I do that? But live and learn. I'm not afraid to make mistakes, especially the hard mistakes. It's how you learn the best. But yep, riding was amazing. Riding's always been amazing. Riding is probably accounts for some of the best memories of my childhood. Is just riding. And yeah, so for anybody, when I was, what was that, probably 11 when we got the RM.
I don't even think you were 11.
I was probably 10 or
Maybe
so.
9, 10.
Yeah. So 9, 10 years old, we bought this 1989 RM Suzuki 80. And it was just like a frame and some plastics, right?
We had the motor, but it was a bunch of rubble in the bottom of the box.
Yeah. So over the winter that year, we bought the motor off eBay. I was working at the restaurant you guys had.
Oh, yeah. You
doing
bought your own tires.
Yeah,
and
doing
hand
dishes.
grips and
Got tires and shocks and all that good stuff. And we rebuilt that RM80 basically from scratch.
that thing would rip.
And built it all over through the winter and then rode it for the next few seasons. And that was probably one of my favorite memories of my childhood, is just building that bike, taking it to the hill climbs, taking it to Majestic. Just that stuff was so much fun, and I can't wait to have memories like that and have experiences like that with my kids. Because yeah, it's been too long. I had that itch for so long. The 80 was the last bike I had before I had the RC, and I missed it so much. I missed riding so much. I had some money burning a hole in my pocket, and I was like, this is it. I'm getting it. I'm getting the bike. And I did, and I don't regret it a single bit. And now the boys are obsessed. Of course, we go to New York and see you guys, and we ride the bikes around all the time. So they've definitely got the itch too, I think. So I can't wait to get them a little 50 or something like that and putt around and get a little small truck or something and a little trailer and start doing our own little events and hitting our own little trails and stuff. I can't wait.
Yeah, there's places around.
Yeah?
I see just outside of Statesville, Chad Reed has built a motocross, and I think they have endurocross, and they have all kinds of stuff in one plot of land.
Yeah, they've got, there's a place in South Carolina. I think it's in South Carolina. It's like right on the border or something. I can't remember what it's called.
TNT Motorsports? They're down by York.
Yeah, it's like they've got trails and tracks and all that stuff.
I used to go down
It's
there.
like a
I took you guys down.
It's like a huge place, right? Like lots of land. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Majestic.
Yeah, it's like a Majestic, yeah. I want to go down there and check that place out because I've had a couple people tell me about it, and Yeah, I really want to check it out.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Been there a bunch of times. You don't remember going there as a kid?
No, I don't. I don't think so.
We took the DS-80 down there and
Oh,
the 50.
wow.
That's when Ashley and Kelsey were with us.
Okay. So I was probably 5 or something. Well, not even. Because we moved back to New York when I was 5 or something like 4 or 5. It was halfway through kindergarten.
Yeah.
We moved back to New York.
Oh, maybe you don't remember it then.
Yeah, I was young. Yeah, I was probably 3 or 4 when we did that. But so what is it about dirt bikes for you? Because I know for me, I think it's just the technicality and the skill that you need to possess to ride certain trails or to get up certain hills and stuff like that. It's like street riding is fun and all, and I love street riding, and it takes practice in its own, and it takes skill in its own way. But there's something about being in the woods with knobby tires and an old 2-stroke that just freaking sends me up the wall, man.
It's every discipline for me.
Mm-hmm.
If it's 2 wheels and it has a motor, I want to do it. And I want to be really good when I do it.
Yeah.
And just super fun.
Yeah.
You can't, for me, you can't get any better.
Yeah.
Out there just ripping it. You make a section and you're just pumped because it's like you pulled the wheel up in the right spot. Instead of going over the bars, you went over the obstacle and kept going.
I know. I remember when you were teaching me, certain things, like riding through the cornfield. You're like, yo, the faster you go, the smoother it's going to be. Mm-hmm. And I was like, this old man don't know what he's talking about. He's fucking, what is he talking about? And I'm like, I'm putting around in second gear, going through the cornfield and pin it. And I'm like, oh, maybe it is a little smoother. Maybe that old guy knows what he's talking about. And like little things like that you used to teach me just on how to control and little pointers and stuff like that. That hill climb was so fun.
That was fun.
So fun.
Yeah.
And it was a big hill. It was like 400 or 500 yards or something. Well, maybe not that big, but
I think it was 350 feet to the top.
Yeah. That's a big boy.
And then the very top of it didn't even count. The timing marks were well below that.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought the timer, because at the very top it went like straight up.
Yeah.
And
that part doesn't count.
Oh.
That's just for the glory.
Oh, I thought, well, because the first time I don't think I made it up there. Or I got the bike up there and then I had to bail. So they pulled it up the rest of the way. But yeah, I remember I placed like 12th out of like 50-some riders in that class. And I was super pumped about that. I think you got 3rd or 4th or something in your class.
Yeah. The first year we won, I got 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
Second year, I tied for 3rd. And the guy that I was tied with had never won a trophy before. So I was like, go ahead and have
Take
3rd.
it, brother.
I'll take 4th.
Yep, take it, brother.
If that inspires someone to keep on learning and advancing and riding, then go for it.
Exactly. Yeah, there's no... I think that's one really admirable thing about you is just the amount of... How do I say it? Just how humble you can be sometimes, and how often you swallow your pride. Like that really resonates with me because sometimes it's hard. It's so hard to to take the high ground and to be the bigger person, and it's crazy because I feel like I have a different experience because I'm the youngest child too. So I feel like you were a little bit more tame, and you kind of had your parenting down to a science by the time I came around.
I definitely learned more by the time you came around.
Yeah. So I think I got the best experience, and I think I got the best out of you because you had obviously learned so much from Ryan and Brittany, and then I was the golden boy, the young boy, and I think it really made every difference in my life and how I carry myself now. So you're to thank for that. And yeah, like why I say I think I have a different experience is because like yeah, I used to see you mad, I used to see you get upset, but I never really seen you, I want to say like I never seen you break character in a way, if that makes sense, because things would happen, but we never really knew, or at least I never really knew the extent of the effect that it had or things like that, so I'm trying to figure out what exactly I'm trying to say, but yeah. Probably should have gave them some background on you, but fuck it, they'll figure it out.
I'm old. There's the background.
Yeah. How old are you, Pops?
54.
54. You look amazing for 54, dude.
I get that a lot.
Yeah.
Several people at work and just different places. I tell them how old I am, and they're like, wow. And I see it.
Oh.
I know guys my age that their backs are shot, their knees are shot.
Their face is fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
Their teeth are falling out.
Yeah. Too much alcohol or smoking or whatever. And
everything in moderation.
Try to, anyways.
Absolutely. I am a firm believer in everything in moderation. It's okay to have fun, but not too much.
Getting back to the street riding.
Yeah.
I was thinking that maybe this year I could ride the Duke here, and we can line up some time with you and Brittany, and maybe we do a couple day trips. Leave here, go to Asheville, whatever.
Oh, we're going to the Dragon's Tail. We're going.
I figured I would take Brittany with me.
Yeah.
Take your wife with you.
Yeah.
Have someone watch the kids. We'll break out for a day or two.
That would be awesome.
I think it would too. I've been doing road trips now for a few years. Pretty excited when you got your bike.
I know. I was like, I didn't know what to think, but I was like, I can't wait, because I feel like riding with someone and riding by yourself are two different things. Like,
they are, and I enjoy both.
I enjoy both too, but I've never really gotten to ride with other people. Like Brittany's brother Matt got a bike, so I've ridden with him a couple times, but I've never really taken any trips. Like I really would like to go. I want to practice a little bit more before I go to the Tail of the Dragon, but yeah, I don't really have other friends who have bikes who I can ride with. Plus, it's really hard to get schedules to line up, and I got 2 kids and Brittany, and so being able to get out of the house for even an hour is like pulling teeth.
I know it's rough.
Yeah, but I know my role, and it's expected, so I have to accept it. And I'm not bitter about that or anything, so
it'll come.
It will come.
There'll be more of it.
Yes.
As you advance.
Yes, and I know my boys are young, so and they deserve all my attention, and they deserve everything that
they need it.
They do.
Young kids need it.
They do, and I know how important it is for kids to have an active father in their life, because that I contribute a lot of the reason I'm successful and I carry myself the way that I do. I attribute almost all of it to being raised by you. And because I see firsthand, how difficult some kids have it when they don't have a father figure in their life. And it is night and day between them being a successful, respectable person and them being a lowlife who doesn't care, who, gets strung out or goes to jail or, anything like, or is just unsuccessful or, and not respectable. And, it's like, and you could chalk that up. I'm like, I see these people and I'm like, where's your father at? I'm like, oh, he is never in my life.
Yeah.
Like, well,
I don't know. Or
that
never met him.
That explains everything. because I'm not trying to harp on mom, but now reflecting back on my childhood and the situation I was in living with you, and then the situation I was in living with mom, it all makes sense now. I'm like, of course.
Like leaving you for weeks at a time?
Yes.
All
Or
alone when you shouldn't have been alone at that age?
or just the environment. I mean, when I was 13 when we moved in with mom, and she was living in a 2-bedroom roach infested apartment in the hood, and I think she was paying $500 a month in rent or something
Osceola?
like that. Osceola, yeah. Osceola Street. If you know anything about Gastonia and you know Osceola Street, you know what I'm talking about. It's ghetto. Now, they've painted a couple buildings over there, so it looks a little better than it did, but it's still the hood, and it's still the slums. But, so it was me, Ryan, Jamie, and Scott, and mom. 5 people, 2-bedroom, roach-infested slum. And mom, of course, had her own bedroom, so it's us 4 kids in that other bedroom. So we had, like, some bunk beds, and then we had a big bed, and then we got Ryan a bed, and we put it in the hallway next to the dryer. And, yeah, it was... I don't regret anything because I think it built a lot of character in me. But, well, let me not say I don't regret anything. But there were certain situations that I wish I didn't have to go through. That I did go through because I lived with mom. And because she wasn't the ideal parent, you know.
That's all I was trying to do for all of you.
Mm-hmm. And I know mom has a lot of love in her heart. And I know at the time, to us kids, it seemed like she's busting her ass. You know, she's working extremely hard and she's doing everything that she can to try to keep her kids and do this and that and make ends meet. And she was. And that was respectable in a way. But there's other aspects of it where I feel like it just didn't have to be that way, you know. And
it didn't.
It didn't.
Those were all choices she made.
Mm-hmm. And I think getting involved with Jamie kind of fucked her a little bit. But that was another situation she, you know, willingly put herself in. And yeah, it was tough. And I feel really bad for Scott and Jamie because
I do too.
Jamie Lee, my youngest sister, my youngest half sister, Jamie was a baby. She was basically a newborn, an infant. And Big Jamie, her daddy, ends up getting addicted to crack, ends up, you know, pawning all the things in the house and selling their cars and writing bad checks and returning Christmas gifts and everything you can think of that's crackhead activity, he was doing. And Scott was a young boy and Jamie Lee was an infant, and it had a huge effect on them, I believe. You know, and I feel bad for him. I mean, Jamie's a good guy now and he's cleaned up and whatnot, but it just breaks my heart to see sometimes, you know. Yeah.
Well, at first, Jamie and I used to hang out.
Mm-hmm.
We actually went to that TNT Motorsports
Oh,
park.
really?
He had a 350 Warrior,
Nice.
Yamaha 4-wheeler.
Mm-hmm.
And they had the conversion van. We'd drag him down there on the trailer. And
I loved that van.
I had that old IT 175.
I remember that. The blue one.
Yeah.
Yep. I used to get so scared. You popping wheelies with me on the back in Chapel Grove. Oh, my God. I remember that. I remember how scared I was. That's the memories you remember the most, are the ones you were scared. But, yeah, Jamie was a good dude. And he just let the addiction get a hold of him and changed his life. So, but... yeah, I'm just grateful that I had a positive role model to look up to, and I'm grateful that I spent as much time with you as I did.
And not that I didn't make mistakes.
Of
I made
course.
my share.
Of course. Yeah.
At least I try to have you guys in mind when, no matter what I was doing,
Yeah.
no matter what decision was being made.
Yeah. The amount of admiration that I think about, and because so how old was I when you and Mom split?
You were 5 months old.
5 months. Okay, yeah, that's what
Just
I thought.
home from the hospital.
That's what I thought. 5-6 months is what I was always told.
Yep.
So 5-6 months old, you and Mom split. Ryan's 3.
He wasn't even in school yet.
Yeah, Ryan's 3, Brittany's 7. So
I think that's why Ryan took it so hard, because he was home all day, every day with his mom.
yeah.
And to be thrust into a daycare, which I didn't want for any of you kids.
Mm-hmm.
But I had no choice.
And that makes me think about a bigger thing. Like, because I feel like me, you, and Ryan, and maybe Brittany too, have this way that we handle relationships and our love life. You know, it's like, for a while there, I felt like we would settle for whoever we could get. We just wanted love, and we wanted a partner in the moment, you know? And I think, and not having Mom around in our youth, in those young years, I think has a lot to do with it, because we're constantly looking for that female acceptance, or that female approval or love. And there's another word I'm thinking of, not just love, but something else. But and I think that's the reason why we handle ourselves in relationships like we do, because, you know, we'll entertain, like, we're single, say hypothetically we're single, we get one girl, the first girl that shows us any affection or attention or anything like that, and we jump on it, and we are just suckers for it, you know?
I think you get that from me as well.
Yeah. And I wanted to ask, why do you think that you're like that? Because I could definitely see those kind of traits in you, you know, because I feel like, and all due respect, I feel like you settled a lot.
Oh, I did.
Going through.
I did, and I've learned that over the years. It don't work.
Yeah.
You know, probably the reason I got so married so many times, and was to have a mother figure in the house for y'all.
Yeah. And I,
because of Mr. Fix It,
right?
That's something I couldn't fix.
Yeah.
I tried.
Mm-hmm. And reflecting on that nowadays is tough, because I knew what you were doing. Now that I reflect on it nowadays, I'm just like, I know what's going on. I know what's going through his head. You know, it's like, nobody wants to do this alone. You know, nobody wants to raise 3 kids by themselves, and nobody wants to, you know, go work every single day and come home to just your kids. Not like there's anything wrong with coming home to just your kids, but, you know, we're emotional creatures, and we require a lot of love and connection and things like that. So
yeah, we all felt abandonment when your mother left.
Yeah, I mean,
Me as well.
Yeah, I'm sure. And I feel like for you to go out and not try to fill that void would be impossible, or it would have been detrimental, you know, to try to go through it by yourself and not at least have some kind of connection with somebody, or, you know, somebody you can kind of share the journey with, and share not the burden, but, you know, raising kids is a lot of work.
It is.
And especially when you're, you know, working a 9 to 5, and you're taking care of the bills and everything else. And so it's tough to think about.
It was tough. I know you touched before on how you thought Brittany thinks that I led kind of a sheltered life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, It's tough.
Yeah, say what you feel. It's okay. I know, because
You can't tell me it's not tragic.
yeah, it breaks my heart every day. I think about it because, like, we've talked about this before. What breaks my heart, I think, the most is what I think Mom would have been if you guys would have stayed together. And what you would have been as well. I mean, I can't say that you're any better or worse of a man now, considering everything that you've been through. I don't know. I can't say. But I would like to imagine that if everything did work out, you would be a stronger individual today too, and not just Mom. Because Mom, she left, and then she went down a path of what I feel like is just selfishness. And
When I had to call her and tell her to spend time with you kids, killed.
I can imagine. And and that also makes me extremely grateful for the kind of wife and mother that my kids have, because I don't think that Brittany would ever abandon these kids, and I don't
see that from her.
No, because Brittany's father was in prison for basically her whole life. I think he was in prison for 14 years for sexual assault and a whole number of things, I believe. But so I see some things in her from not having that proper father figure in her life as well. And I mean, she had Shane, and Shane's an amazing man. Shane's a great guy, and but as a step parent, you can only do so much, and there's only so much connection that you can have with that child, because I feel like another one of the reasons I moved to Carolina is because I didn't really know my mother, and I really wanted to have that relationship with her, and I didn't feel like I had that relationship with her. And I had that relationship with you, and I loved our relationship, and I cherished it, and I just yearned for that same relationship with my mother. And yeah, it was tough. And yeah, I just always think about the woman she could have been, or would have been, if she would have stuck it out. And all of that, as tragic as it is, I try to use as a motivator to keep myself in it, and keep myself pushing and seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and sticking it out through the hard times, because me and Brittany have had some hard times. Even in the 8 years we've been together, there's been some difficult times where I've wanted to walk away so bad, and she's wanted to walk away too. I've put her through some hell. I'm definitely not a perfect person, but going through everything that we've been through as a family, as far as us, me and you, not me and Brittany or anything, but everything we've been through as a family, I don't want my kids to have 2 Christmases, the children don't deserve that burden to have split homes and have to travel and have to. What I don't want my kids to have to do is have to fight for individual parents' attention, or individual time with each parent. Like, I just want my kids to, when they grow up, I want my kids to be able to come home to one home and spend the holidays there, and not have to, I got to go to my dad's house for Christmas. His Christmas is at 4, and then my mom's Christmas is at 6. So we're going to go to dad's, we're going to da-da-da-da, and then 5:30 or 6, we're going to head out, we're going to go to mom's Christmas. It's like, that sounds simple and it sounds stupid, but there's so much to that. And I feel like I would never if I were the one that walked away and gave up on this, I feel like I would never
That would be the thing that really drove it home.
Yeah.
Bothered you the most.
Yeah. I would never let it go. Because I love these kids. And I love Brittany. And she's a great woman. And I know she's not perfect. And I'm not perfect. So I know it's constantly work. It's constantly, self-improvement and personal development and stuff like that. And as long as, we stick together and work on it and put our kids, I don't want to say put our kids first, but I don't know how I want to say it. But yeah.
Give them the upbringing that they deserve.
Exactly.
Not to be yanked from house to house.
Mm-hmm. And it's so prevalent nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
55% of marriages end in divorce. And I heard this statistic the other day. It blew my mind. I can't remember when they took the original poll, but I want to say it was 1979. It was either 1980 or 1990. But they took this poll and it said 4% of women have a child and are single in 1980 or 1990. 4% of women have a child and are single. Nowadays, I think they took the next one in 2019 or something. It's 40%.
Oh, I believe
40% of women are single when they give birth. And that just blows my mind. I feel a responsibility to be someone other people can look at and say, he's got it figured out.
Damn, how does he make it work?
Yeah, damn, man. They've been together for how long? They are such a strong couple, and then they've been through addictions, and they've been through, we haven't been through infidelity or anything like that, but like you name it, we've been through it, and I do want to be that person people can look at and be like, he's doing it right. He really stuck it out and dug his feet in the ground and, and made it work. And to me, that seems like the most rewarding as well, because of course there's the lust of going out and being single and having fun and partying and hooking up with all these random girls or whatever. Like, that stuff, it just doesn't interest me anymore. Like, the person I was when I was 18, 19 is so much different than who I am now, because I cherish the status that my relationship has. Like, if my relationship is super, super good and we're, on great terms and we're making it work and we're, doing teamwork together and we're giving these kids everything that we can have, that is more rewarding than anything else I can think of, rather than making a bunch of money or having a bunch of hookups or, having a bunch of friends or having a social, life or being the life of the party or something like that. Like, that stuff doesn't hold any weight anymore, and I kind of nowadays, it's like I feel like I take pride in going to work every day and showing up and being present in the moment, because I feel like I struggled with that a lot the past couple years. It's just being present in the moment, like put my phone down, give these kids the attention they need and the guidance that they need. And, it's like, because at the end of the day, I know what type of parent I need to be, and I know what type of role model I need to be. And this makes me think of a quote that I heard the other day. It's the happiness that you're looking for is in the work that you're avoiding. And that really like hit me when I heard it, because when I procrastinate, then it's just a cycle. It's like you get guilt, and then, you know, you feel bad, and then you beat yourself up, and then you're apathetic and you don't want to do anything because now you're beating yourself up and you feel bad, or you feel guilty because you didn't take the proper steps and you didn't do what was necessary to make what you needed to make happen. And so now I think now I do better at seeing the end goal and being motivated by the end goal, because oh man, I'm so like sporadic right now. I'm trying to keep
And
it.
that comes from maturity.
Yeah.
That comes from where you came from to where you're at now, and seeing the difference.
Yeah.
And what matters in your life now compared to when you're 18.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't move on from that point.
Yeah.
That's their whole life. I know guys that are my age that are still chasing tail and where are you going? What are you doing?
Yeah, chasing tail and putting themselves in crazy debt, or freaking, or getting in trouble, or doing drugs, or you name it, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just feel grateful and fortunate, and I really hope and I pray that I don't lose it. You know, I don't lose the drive and the motivation, because it scares me sometimes, because you get into those feelings, and I'm sure you felt this too, where you just want to say, fuck this. You know, it's like, I don't want to do this anymore. You know, like, especially when it comes to like my job. I'm like, fuck this. I don't want to do this anymore. But I'm like, I cannot look at it that way, or else I'm gonna hate it. I'm gonna drive myself up a wall constantly if all I do is think about how much I don't like this shit. What I need to do is think about what this has given me and what I've been able to give my family with the opportunity that I have in front of me, and not just to bitch and moan and piss it away, but to cherish it and to appreciate it and take pride in it. And but it has been hard. There's definitely been moments where I feel tested, where I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, even parenting, I'm like,
Oh yeah.
I feel bad. I feel really bad sometimes, because if I'm being 100% honest, I'm like, I could do so much, and I would be so far in life if I didn't have kids. And that makes me want to cry, just thinking that I have that thought running through my head, you know? And I'm like, what's the scale? What's the scale? If I'm just talking about making money or being, you know, or having material things, is that what is even important? Or is having a family that I can come home to every day and, you know, spend time with and play games with and laugh with, where is that on the scale? You know, because like, I hate having that thought. Like, man, I would be so much farther in life if I didn't have to spend all this money on these kids. I didn't have to put all this time into these kids, and I didn't have to do this and this. But that's such a toxic mindset.
It's sad the amount of people that think that way.
Yeah, and it's not like that. I don't really think like that, but of course the thought comes through your head. Everybody thinks things, you know. But I also have to think, if I didn't have kids, I wouldn't be here, because I wouldn't have that. I wouldn't have had my back against the wall. I wouldn't have had that pressure on me to provide. I wouldn't have had the pressure to be a better man and a better role model and a better father figure and all those things if I didn't have kids. So where would I really be if I didn't have those boys? I probably strung out, fucking hanging with the same guys I was hanging with in high school, just dicking off, smoking weed all the time. It's just stupid shit. Like unmotivating, you know, like people get caught in that cycle.
Just existing, not living.
Just existing and being selfish. And I think the most joy kind of comes from being selfless, you know, and kind of giving yourself onto other people, you know, and being that person that people can rely on, because Brittany and those kids rely on me so much, and it's hard. They rely on me so much, and it's hard. What am I trying to say? Not take it for granted, but I don't know. How was your father?
My father?
Yeah. Because I never really knew Grandpa.
You were pretty young when he passed away.
Well, I was young when he passed, and I was younger when he really started losing it, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, the only memories I really have of him are sneaking ice cream out of the freezer, and one day Grandma got on his ass because he was out by the road trying to sweep the road off. And yeah. But how was he? How was he in as a father figure and as a role model in your life?
He was a good dad.
Yeah.
He always spent time with us.
Yeah.
Always made sure that we spent time with our uncles and cousins and aunts and, you know, family reunions. And we didn't have a lot of money.
Yeah.
We didn't go on huge family vacations and stuff. The only family vacation I can remember going on was we all went to Ohio, to Cedar Point.
Oh, yeah.
To the amusement park.
Nice.
And part of it was because Mom's brother, Tim,
was out there.
lived in Columbus.
Nice.
Which is right there by Cedar Point.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to stay with them, visit all our cousins that we didn't get to see every weekend and stuff because they lived in Ohio.
That's nice.
And just always stuff like that.
Yeah.
Go to my grandparents' house, take us to the cabin, take us swimming.
What?
We spent so many summers in Letchworth Park picking for pop cans and
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
You know, the park closes at 5 o'clock. They don't charge admission after that, so
Right,
we'd go
right.
after then, and we would cook out. So most of the time we'd find a fire that was already burning, throw a little more on
Jump
it.
on it.
Yeah,
I still got some
burgers.
embers over here.
Yeah.
What was your favorite memory of your father?
There's a bunch. Sounds dumb, but I was just out of school.
Mm-hmm. Graduated?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just graduated. And a buddy of mine, Tom Neal,
Yep.
said he was working in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, and he'd seen this V8 Vega for sale down there. Oh, you gotta check it out. It's the coolest thing.
Yeah.
Well, I had my V8 Vega at the time.
Yeah.
And Dad's like, maybe we should go look at that. So we did a road trip, just the two of us.
Down to Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
Nice.
Drove all the way out there.
In your Vega?
In my Vega.
Nice. Now I remember it was like a blue color, wasn't it?
It was a teal green in the end. Yeah.
Okay.
It was orange originally. Imagine that.
Yeah, right. It all circles back. So y'all went to Pennsylvania to look at this Vega.
Yeah, we drove all the way out there, looked at it for about 10 minutes, and went, no, this thing's way too rusty or whatever, and decided no.
Damn. But I bet that trip, just the two of y'all, was pretty memorable.
Well, it was cool because we built that car together.
Yeah, your Vega. That's awesome.
Yeah, we bought the body out of Orchard Park, and the motor was blowing in it.
Mm-hmm.
They were bringing it. Somebody that was in the military in Texas had it.
Yeah.
Was driving back to New York, and the motor blew on it.
Damn.
Which they were aluminum block, 4 cylinders,
They
junk.
They weren't
To start with.
They weren't holding up that well, anyways.
Which that's not what we were looking for. We just wanted a good solid body.
Yeah.
So we picked that up, dragged it home, and within the next couple of months, we found in the auto trader this 71 Chevy Impala with a 350 V8 in it for sale in Orchard Park.
Yeah.
We go back to Orchard Park, and we buy it. It turns out being an old priest's car that had all the maintenance records on it.
Nice.
It was just...
So it was taken care of.
It was. It was actually good shape, the body.
Nice.
Dragged it home and ripped the motor out of it. And bought an oil pan so it would fit into the Vega.
Right,
Bought motor mounts and dragged it up to my buddy Pat Armison's house and had his dad weld the motor mounts in for us. And we drag it home. And took a few late night runs with it. No inspection, no plates, no nothing. Just open headers. Giving her hell.
You and Grandpa did that?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, that sounds like a pretty fucking fun memory.
Whatever, any of us. Whatever he could help with, he did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if it was just to talk to.
Yeah. I know, I think some of my favorite conversations are conversations that me and you have. And I still don't think that our favorite memory has happened yet. I'll say that. Because I can think of a few, but they're all from real young childhood, and I think there's a lot more in store for us in the future. So I'm excited. What did Grandpa do for work? Bunch of different stuff.
In the end, he was a truck driver.
Was he?
Yeah.
Wow. Got a CDL?
He did.
Wow. Look at that. See, so many things about him I don't know, and I hate it because I wish I knew that man. I wish I knew that man because obviously he had to have been an extremely impactful role model and influence on you. And
yes and no at the same time.
Really?
Yeah. As I got older and wanted things, and the only way to get them was to work for them myself.
Right.
I was at some point I was, and that's kid stuff. That totally evaporated.
Like
once
resentful or something?
Almost embarrassed to go to school because we were on welfare. And, we got free lunches and stuff like that. And kids can be harsh when you're in school.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We lived in Orchard Park off Abbott Road, right by the Bills Stadium. Actually, I remember Dad putting a sign in the front yard for Bills parking to make a few extra bucks to let cars park in the yard.
Yeah. So y'all are that close.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And then the winter of 77, they had bought the house that I live in now, and we moved down there.
In 77.
Yeah.
So you're 8 years old.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. In good old Hume, New York.
Yeah. Still live in that house.
Yep. Grew up in that house. You got a house for your mother and put her right next door. And moved into your childhood house.
Actually, it was for both of them. Because Dad couldn't get up and down the stairs anymore.
Right. Yeah, how did that all come to fruition? Like, did you know you were going to buy that house and move into it?
No, actually, I was going to put a house in where Grandma's is. And I was going to buy that lot off my dad.
Yeah.
And that was about the time where he was starting to... Alzheimer's was coming in. He cut his foot in the lawnmower and stuff. And
Damn.
We took the lawnmower away from him and couldn't get up and downstairs.
Damn.
I said, I'll tell you what. Why don't I still buy that new house? Put it in. You and Dad can live there. You give me your house, I'll give you that one. And I did. I paid it off. It's been paid off.
Grandma's house? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. How long has it been paid off? It seemed like it didn't take that long. 15 years or something?
Well, it did and it didn't.
Okay.
Because it got wound in with a bunch of stuff that I had to consolidate when Kathy raked me over the coals and stole everything. That
that's
rotten fucking bitch.
That's a story for another podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boy, you had some doozies.
You know, the hardest thing in life is to find someone that'll tell you the truth.
Yeah.
I tell the truth, and I expect that in return from everybody.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, us Ellises are a little naive, and we take everyone at face value. And
yes, we do give people the benefit of the doubt, maybe a little more than we should.
I believe so.
Yeah, and we want to see the good in everybody, but sometimes it ends up biting us in the ass.
Yeah.
Says senior 3 marriages later. Yeah, I try my hardest to be honest with everybody and be transparent as I can be and be respectful.
The best thing about telling the truth is you don't have to remember what you said.
Exactly.
Because it's always the same.
Yes, and I was a very bad liar in the beginning of me and Brittany's relationship, and I still have to pay for it a little bit nowadays because, you know, it takes a long time to build that trust back after, you know, you've broken it over and over and over again. You know, it's if everything coming out of your mouth is a lie, how do they ever know when you're telling the truth? So that was a really big hurdle I had to get over, and I had to accept that it was my fault, and I was the one lying, and I was the one that was going to have to prove myself and give her time to, you know, build that trust back up and stuff like that. So, but I'm very optimistic with Brittany. I think she's got a lot of potential, and she's already an amazing woman. So, yeah, I'm excited for the future.
I'm glad you found such a good woman.
Oh my gosh, I lucked out.
I feel like I can have the life I wanted through you.
Live vicariously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted. Same thing.
And it breaks my heart because, of course, like you said, you're not perfect, but I know who you are. I know the man you are. Maybe not as well as some people, but where was I going with that? To see you get done dirty so much is just heartbreaking, you know. And I don't want to do anybody dirty. I don't want anybody to do me dirty, but I mean, sometimes that's just how life works, and it sucks, but good things happen, or bad things happen to good people sometimes, but I feel like as long as we can take some kind of lesson from it and apply it in the future, then it's not all a lost cause. So, but
it's funny as you age and the group that you're in with, whether it be coworkers or family or whatever, the different stuff. Like, oh yeah, right around 50, my eyes start like dropping off. Okay, now I need, and I denied it for the longest time, and it's just like no, I just. No. Yeah, it keeps going.
I'm just foggy right now.
Yeah. So now I use readers. That's the worst thing.
If that's the worst of your health problems, I think you're doing pretty good.
I can't believe it. I've had to change doctors a couple of years now. But if everywhere I go that I got to fill out paperwork, they always ask, you know, like even the dentist, you know, what medications you on, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And they like all freak out.
You're not on anything?
I wasn't up until like a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Now I take a cholesterol pill. Yeah. Which, I don't know. I guess it's better.
It must do something. See, I'm a firm believer now in like supplements and things to help you. Like I take vitamins every day and stuff like that. And But at the same time, there's a mindset that I have to where it's like, I don't believe any of that shit. Like, I don't believe in antidepressants, or I don't believe in ADHD medicine, or I don't believe in like certain things like that. Like certain things I think are just big pharma trying to make money off of people and exploiting children and elderly people. And then another mindset I have is like, if I don't believe that it's real and I don't believe that it's true and it can happen to me, then it won't. Because I do feel like if you go through life and you constantly tell yourself, I'm sick, I'm sick, I'm sick.
The mind's powerful.
The mind is so
you can make
powerful.
yourself sick if you believe it.
You can make yourself hurt. You can make yourself sick. You can make yourself sleepy. You can make yourself believe things that aren't there. And I think if you just have a strong mindset in, like, I tell myself I don't believe in depression, because I've never been depressed. Like, at least that's how I feel. Certainly depression's real. People suffer and deal with it all the time. But if I form that mindset to where I don't believe in it, then I don't give it any legs to stand on, basically. And it's less likely to affect me. And I think that's real. I think you can definitely believe things, and they can also become reality, like
That's the same point that I was making to Elijah the other day. He wanted to watch this scary movie, and I'm like, I don't want to watch that. Turn that off.
Yeah, it freaks me out.
Why don't you want to watch that, Papa? I'm like, because when I'm out in the woods in my tent all by myself, I don't want that in my mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether it's real or not, I don't want to be scared because of something that's in my head.
Exactly, because then you're polluting your mind, and it's only going to negatively affect you. Because now you're sitting in the tent worried or scared, even though it might not be real. You're causing extra stress,
extra anxiety
that doesn't need to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And I do believe that can go a long way.
I mean, are there threats? Sure.
Of course.
Are there real dangerous things? Of course there is.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to think if I'm in the middle of freaking nowhere that I'm pretty well isolated other than wild animals.
Right. And if something were to come across your way, you're just going to have to deal with it when it happens. And
I had provisions for that.
Yeah. Like all the time at work, I'll be halfway through my day, and I'm like, man, fuck this job. It's so stupid. I hate this shit. I'm about to quit, blah, blah, blah. And then by the end of the day, when I'm finished, I'm like, I was just being a bitch about it. That shit wasn't really that bad. I was just kind of overthinking it or overanalyzing it or anything like that.
Getting back to my doctor.
Yeah.
I actually have it pretty lucky with him because it's the same doctor that Uncle Randy and Uncle Jeremy go to.
Nice.
And of course, Uncle Randy, he's analytical as hell.
Oh, yeah.
So he's got to well, my daughter's a doctor, pharmaceutical doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to put me on what? Well, she says no.
Yeah.
Because there's a holistic thing I could take instead of that. And,
that's funny.
And he keeps the doctor tell him right out. No,
Yeah.
I know that pharma's pushing you to give out samples and sell medicine.
Yeah, and you probably get some kind of incentive. Well, I don't think they do incentives anymore for doctors like that.
Maybe not anymore, but
they did.
It has been through the years.
Oh, yeah. They used to have big incentives for
rampant.
For prescribing painkillers or antidepressants and all that type of stuff.
So it was kind of funny last year for my physical.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, oh, you still on this? I'm like, well, no. Actually, I ran out of it 6 months ago.
Didn't think I needed it.
Yeah. I've been feeling pretty good. How do my numbers look? Oh, well, you're on the edge. You should really start taking it again because your age and stuff. It's like, okay.
Well.
And he always talks into a recorder, patient is 54-year-old, blah, 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 this weight, this height, blah, I think he's doing that. And he was trying to tell me that I was on the edge of obesity. And he goes, I know, like I should talk. I'm like, yeah, fat fuck.
You're on the fucking edge, bro. You fucking fell off. What are you talking about?
But he knows too that I don't want to take anything that I don't have to take.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm down to just that one little teeny
Cholesterol.
pill.
Yeah.
Which I guess I know a lot of guys my age that have had heart attacks because of not taking that.
Yeah. And some things are very beneficial, but everything in moderation, of course. And I like to think that there's natural alternatives and remedies that do just as good, if not better, than half the shit they're prescribing people nowadays.
Yeah, and that's what I take. Actually, here's a plug for Balance of Nature, seen on Fox TV.
Oh, that's great.
It's all whole fruits, whole vegetables,
Mm-hmm.
cold processed into a capsule, and I take 3 capsules of each a day, and that's it. It gives me all my daily nutrients, or you're supposed to eat all these food groups, right, every day, and you think, well, how can I do it? I had french fries. Well, that's potatoes, right? Vegetables? Yeah, but now you need milk. You need everything else to make that pyramid that they teach you in school.
Yes.
Well, these supplements have everything in it for your daily recommended allowances.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel better. I'm more alert. I feel like I'm on top of it when I take them.
Nice.
And knock on wood, I haven't been sick too very often.
Yeah.
COVID, obviously.
Mm-hmm. You got COVID?
No. I've had it.
Yeah, you
I
had
had
it
it last Christmas.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. I don't believe in that shit either. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I do. It's definitely man-made. Come
Yes.
from freaking China.
Yep, come from the lab. We all know. They tried to use the wet market to cover it up. Yeah, we know. But
Enough money. Oh, let's make this. Let's
Mm-hmm.
make that. The United States says, no, you can't do that here.
Yeah.
So what do? Fauci
Send it
sends
over there.
money over there and funds it through them.
Yep, we'll just send it to China where they will let it happen.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they give 0 fucks about any other people.
Dude, it's the government's in bed with all the companies and the businesses, and the people are just kind of the gears that turn the system.
Actually, when all this has been going on with COVID and stuff, I was doing some research, and I didn't realize this, but I seen a chart of how everything's supposed to work, the systems. Right at the very top was banking.
Mm-hmm.
Head of everything, head of the whole world, everything revolves around the banking system. Underneath them, corporations.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I could see them.
Right.
Under them, government. So you're telling me that the banks and the corporations are above the government. Well, no wonder they act like they can do whatever the fuck they want. And they do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, because everything's incentivized by money. Yeah. That's fucking crazy. It's a crazy system we have nowadays, and government's so backwards, and they've got the morals in this world are lost.
In the toilet.
Yeah, they're just lost. I mean, that's why I appreciate a place like New York, Fillmore, so much, because it's just separate from all the bullshit. It feels like a little bit. I love living in the city and being close and having things close to me, and opportunities are abundant and blase. But going out to New York and in the country, it's like I get to forget about all the bullshit that's really going on. And
yeah, we are kind of sheltered there.
Mm-hmm. And it is nice. And I would love to raise my kids in a place like that, but I just don't see it happening too soon.
That was my thought.
Yeah.
That's why we went back.
And I had a feeling that was, a primary driver of the decision, because
That, and I had no help here.
Yeah. I remember you telling me that too.
Yeah. And I wanted your kids to know who your grandparents were, and who your aunt and uncles were, and have family reunions and swim in Rushford Lake.
And I miss them so much. I wish when I visited.
Your Aunt Brenda driving bus for summer recreation and stuff like that.
Yeah, I did summer rec. I would stay at Uncle Randy's house for a few weeks out of the summer and stuff like that. And yeah, and then everybody grows up, and it's kind of sad. Especially when I think of Melissa. When I see Melissa, it breaks my heart, because me and Melissa were really close, and and she got with Dave, and I feel like Melissa had so much more potential to get unlocked, and then she started doing what kids do and being experimental and exploring things and doing whatnot, and had a kid, and then it was just kind of like, well, that's that now. You're a mother, so. And I don't know how Dave is, but
he's come a long way.
He has.
He has really straightened up.
From what I've heard, he is.
They moved out of Lackawanna.
Mm-hmm.
Bought a house in Hume.
Mm-hmm.
They live on the Horseshoe.
Nice.
Actually, right next to Josh.
Oh, okay.
And Dave took a job in Arcade, Fluid Power Systems.
Nice.
And it's a family. I guess this family owned a hydraulic business in the city for years and years. And finally, it got to the point where they're like, "We're done. We're gonna retire."
Yeah.
And they sold out to a corporation, but they got to keep their jobs till they could retire.
Right.
They seen what the corporation was doing and how they were fucking people and making cheap stuff, and they're like, you know what? Fuck these people. We're going to go to Arcade, we're going to build a building, and we're going to start our business again. And they took their old customers with them, and they started. Now, Dave claims that at least once a week they have lunch for all the employees, paid for. Always giving them incentives to, if you do this, then, there's going to be a raise or whatever for you. And he's worked his way up to, like, manager now in the place. So,
good for him.
Yeah, it's better than... Not that tile work is bad, but I mean, that's hard on you.
Yeah, on your knees and your legs and your back.
And I got to hand it to him too. Dave's father's an alcoholic.
Yeah,
tile guy as well.
Mm-hmm.
A bad influence. When they were living in Lackawanna, they were living in a downstairs apartment from his parents.
Yeah,
and Dave would be an alcoholic if he let it be.
Yeah, if he wouldn't have strived to not be. Yeah.
And I think Uncle Randy had something to do with that too,
as far as
helping him out
and
pointing him in the right direction.
Yeah, and being a supportive kind of person for him in his life, because I'm sure his role models weren't the best. And I mean,
I'm not saying his dad's a bad guy.
Right.
But
of course,
when you see alcoholism, that affects people for generations.
Mm-hmm. Brittany's dad was an alcoholic. Still is, I'm sure. But, it's tough. It's tough. I mean, I try... That's like we were saying earlier. I try to give people the benefit of the doubt, because you never know where they came from or who raised them or what kind of role models they had in their life. And that could be the main contribution to why they are the way they are. But anybody can be better. Anybody can improve. And I'm glad that he's doing good for himself.
Throughout my life, I always tried to take the best away from everybody I've always met. Mm-hmm. Whether it was knowledge, whether it was a joke, anything. Yeah. I always try to take the best from that. And if I liked it, try to implement it into my life somehow.
Exactly. Because there's something to be learned from everybody.
Yeah.
Whether it's something you don't want to do with your life or something you do want to do with your life.
Oh, yeah.
And one kind of philosophy I kind of try to live by is I'm not going to take advice from somebody who's not in a position I want to be in. Why the fuck am I going to take advice from you? If you're still... living at your parents and working at the gas station. You don't got no advice that I'm going to take seriously. Not to say I can't learn something from you, because I certainly still could learn something from you, but if you're going to try to give me life advice and you're working at the Shell, and living with mom and dada, and you're still 25, 30.
Yeah, living in the basement.
That shit's in one ear and out the other, bro.
Yeah.
So, and just because somebody's older don't mean they know what the fuck they're talking about.
Oh, I think that makes it worse sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm old. You should listen to me just because. I don't know.
No, there's 45-year-old men at my job that I have to tell how to do their job. And it's not my job. It's like their management or something. I'm like, bro, you supposed to do X, Y, Z. I'm 27 years old, bro. You're 45, and you don't even know how to do your own fucking job. The incompetence nowadays is ridiculous.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But it makes me optimistic because I'm like, well, it should be that much easier to get ahead because everybody else sucks.
Well, that's just it. Nowadays, they don't want anyone to be ahead. They want everyone to be dumbed down and the same. They've been trying to streamline pay scales across the world. Okay, I'm an electrician. What makes you say that that's only worth $40 an hour?
Exactly.
When that might be true if I was just a residential electrician and did nothing else. But when you throw in motor controls and everything else that goes down the line and the years of experience
all the
doing
accolades,
it's like,
motherfucker, I deserve $100 an hour.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I think trades have really taken a hit, especially with internet and social media being so prevalent nowadays. It's really sad to see, honestly, because
and no one really wants to do it anymore.
No.
They have a hell of a time recruiting kids for internships and
because these kids get online and they get on YouTube and they see some 18-year-old making $1 million a year making videos.
Yeah.
And they're like, why the fuck do I want to go into a trade and work for 5 years before I can even punch 80 grand? Like, or something like that. And it's,
if you even punch 80 grand.
yeah, after 5 years, you're probably still not hitting 80, depending on the trade and what job you get and what, depending on what company you work for and all that stuff, of course. But yeah, it's difficult. And I feel bad for the guys nowadays.
I ran into that the other night. There was a fellow that I worked with at Gordon and Zorb, retired. So they called me like, hey, we're having a retirement party at Alley Oops, which is just down the street from Gordon and Zorb.
Right.
The Thursday before I came here. So I go there, and there's the ex-employees actually outnumbered the employees at one point in the evening.
Yeah.
And then the guy who was the foreman is now owner, and I know him real well.
Right.
He walks in, and they're like, oh, you just tipped the scales. Employees are back on top now. But it was funny. The older guys, the group that I was in with and worked with, there was just that respect.
Yeah.
We all knew our shit. We all come to work. We did our job, and we went home. That was it. We tried to have some fun in between, and it's hard to find someone. The younger guys were sitting there, and not that we excluded them. We did introduce ourselves and said hello, and it kind of touches you a little bit when they're like, yeah, okay. You introduce yourself. They're like, yeah, so-and-so was telling me about you the other day. It's like, well, he should, motherfucker.
Yeah. I'm that motherfucking dude.
Yeah.
Yep. And I think we should all have that mentality. I don't think that that's a bad thing to think that you're a beast, I think you have to have a mindset of, I'm a warrior. Like, I'm a savage. I'm a beast. I will do whatever I need to do to get it done. And a lot of people call it having that dog in you. And I think every guy should have that mentality that you got that dog in you, that you can do anything anybody else can do, and you can do it just as good. Even if you can't, you should believe that you're capable,
Or at least strive to reach that.
Exactly.
point.
Strive to try to emulate that, How long you been an electrician, Dad?
35 years.
Fuck yeah. Yep. Oops. That's crazy. Yeah, it is sad, though, to see. I think all trade jobs should be paid way more than they are.
Oh, yeah.
Because a lot of it is, CEOs and shit like that taking everything off the top.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the CEO of... tries to relate to us last year through a town hall meeting, about...
Oh, God, this should be good.
How him and his son went to some exotic little island in the middle of the Pacific to kite surf or
Talking about
windsurf.
Epstein's Island or something? No.
Because this was the place to do it in all the travel magazines. So this is the best place in the world. So they had to, charter a plane and fly to this island and fly to another one and
What
get
a
their
shit
gear.
story to tell your employees.
This guy makes his baseline is $6 million a year.
Oh my god.
That's not bonuses. That's not incentives.
You know his
that's
bonus
nothing.
is another mil or two. You know,
Definitely.
At least.
Definitely.
He's probably touching 10 mil a year.
Yeah, and he's trying to relate to people that are making 50 to 80 grand a year.
Yeah.
Even the management, most of them are retards. I'm going to come out and say it. I don't care. And they're making
It's a lot of management everywhere
$100,000
nowadays.
to $200,000 a year for what? When I got to tell them what their job is, I don't play that with my bosses, and I think that's why I get the respect I do. It's like, no, that's your job,
Yeah.
not my job.
And they're not keeping the lights on, you know?
Right.
They're fucking...
They don't even know where all the electrical rooms are on campus.
They're crunching spreadsheets and doing dumb shit. You know, that's almost irrelevant to the business. Like, I understand profit margins, blah, blah, blah. You know, you got to make your shareholders happy and this and this and that. But it's like with, you know, the nitpicky shit, the little shit that doesn't really matter, but management is told by corporate that this does matter and you need to get all your people on board with it and da-da-da-da-da, but they're not out here doing it, and they're sitting in a little cubicle trying to tell us how to do our job because they know so much more than us.
Yeah.
And that's what bugs me. Management nowadays is a joke.
I think it's pretty funny. I actually had that conversation with my manager. He was complaining about he'd seen a light out in one of the hallways or whatever. He's like, "Did you see that?" I'm like, "Yeah, I seen that." "Well, how come you haven't fixed it?" I said, "Because it's not my job to find work for myself.
Yeah.
You tell me what you want me to do,
Right.
and I'll do it.
Right.
I don't go looking for work. And if he doesn't give me a work order, he doesn't give me stuff to do,
That's it.
I go over to my office and I have YouTube."
Yeah. Watch
Which
some-
doesn't happen too often because being the only one. There
Yeah.
were 3 electricians when I started there.
Yeah. And now it's just you.
Just me.
Damn.
And we still have the same amount of buildings. We still have the same amount of lights in the building.
Yeah. Same amount of work to do every year.
Yeah. They have gotten better about that, though. Like, I'll tell
Putting in
them
work
out.
orders or something, or
Well, getting me help. If it comes to a project that I feel is 2-man work,
Yeah.
or I need another electrician, not just a set of hands, then I'll say, bring Gordon and Zorb in, or hire a contractor,
Yeah.
have him come do this project because I don't have time, I can't do it, whatever the need might be.
right.
They were kind of mad at me at one point because we had bought a new tankless hot water system for one of the buildings, our headquarter building, actually. Never talked to me, never said anything about it.
Right.
This thing's 480 volts. So they get it. Oh, yeah, big stroke of business. Plumber puts it on the wall. Okay, all you got to do is wire it. I look at it, I'm like, well, where are you getting 480 volts from?
Yeah. Not this building.
Closest thing you can get it from is that main switchgear right there. And I don't have the PPE to go into that panel. I can take the cover off and look inside of it. That's all I can do. I can't stick my hands in there.
Yeah.
I can't stick my head in there. I can't tie anything
And
down.
they're like, well, just do it anyways.
And it was an old switchgear.
Yeah.
And to install a new breaker in there that would have taken care of that water system, they don't make parts for it anymore. It's obsolete. So where am I going to get it from?
Yeah.
If it's not in a catalog that I can look it up and buy it, you're fucked. You kind of
Yeah.
got to go with a company that does that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And they can custom make pieces
Get
for
it
you
all
if you need.
together, yeah.
Can I make custom make pieces? Of course I can.
But-
do I have the time? No.
No, that shit takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
Detail and filing shit down and welding and blah, 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 blah.
Plus it's live. I mean,
Yeah.
it's 2,000 amps
Oh, no.
at 480 volt.
That's
That-
gonna
that's
kill
no
you.
joke. Yeah.
You think that would kill you?
Oh, it absolutely would.
How much would it take to kill you?
One touch.
Like, how many volts or how many whatever?
Under the right circumstances, 1/1000th of an amp will kill you.
Jesus. If you're like,
That wall socket right there is 15 amp.
phew. So if I'm, well, yeah, that makes sense now.
If you're standing in water,
That's what I was about
or
to say.
whatever, yeah.
Standing in water, got some metal on you or something.
Give it a path to ground, and it will take it.
Least resistance. Gonna fuck you up.
Yeah. Yeah. Most of the time, it will be right through your heart. done.
Yeah. Crazy. Damn, I don't want to wrap this up. I want to keep going, but
We're flowing now.
We're flowing now. I know. Fuck. Well, I don't really have to leave till about 10ish. It's like 9:45, 8:45 something.
5 to 9.
Damn, time is flying. Well, fuck. I do just want to chill and enjoy the last hour or so we got together. So, but we will. I had a lot of fun. We'll definitely have to do this again.
Yeah.
If there's one message that you could tell the world, what would it be?
About
Anything.
anything?
Yep. One message, one quote, one word that you would like to tell the world from your mouth. What would you think? What's your dad advice?
Oh boy. Wow, that's deep reaching.
Mm-hmm. We deep over here. Ocean.
Do the best you can every day.
There you go. And
That's all that could be expected out of you.
And that's how we end it. Thank you for joining. Matt Ellis Sr. It's been a great episode. Can't wait to do it again. I love you.
Love you too.
All right. Y'all have a good one. And then let's, you don't have to do nothing. We'll stand up. We'll pose for the camera real quick so I can have a little thumbnail.
Oh.
Awesome. That was awesome.